All right, y'all, we back in the streets of Miami with The Desirable Truth, one of my favorite channels on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to check out all his videos. They're pretty dope. Uncovering modern love's bitter reality. Let's find out how this street episode goes.
What's your age?
26.
Ooh.
26.
Has dating
First of all, we opening it up like this? She got them nalgas out, boy. Look at that.
gotten easier as you gotten older?
Yes. Depends.
Well, why do you feel that way?
I think because as you get older, you start to know what you want or what you're looking for. As opposed to when you're young, you kind of just date whoever.
You feel like you have higher standards?
Yeah, I think it comes with age.
Okay. And what does it depend on for you?
Well, I agree with everything that she said, but yeah, just in general, I feel like people are not ready for commitment and to put in the work, you know, so it's harder to find like someone that's genuine.
And that's been your experience most of the time?
100%.
So the guys that you feel are never ready to commit to you, are these men that you already sleep with?
I'm not talking to anyone. I'm done.
But the ones in the past,
What about them?
have you slept with them before?
Yeah.
Do you think that that played a part in why they didn't commit to you?
You give up the goods.
I
think,
don't know.
I think that's what he's trying to say.
I don't think that that should play a part in it.
Yo, it's like that old analogy, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free kind of a situation. I think that's essentially what he's asking, and she's not really getting it.
But why would a man give you the benefits of the relationship if he's already experienced everything that you have to offer?
Because he wants to be with me, genuinely.
Would you rather date a woman who was fit and slim or a BBW?
I say for me to date, fit and slim. But I like the BBWs too, don't get me wrong. They do got a very, you know, they got a nice pocket of love they have there.
What do you feel bigger women tend to have over
I seen this guy. He be on Fresh and Fit show. Mr. Organic, that's his name.
the more slim, thick ones?
Bigger women, BBWs, they got the, you know, the most nutritious vaginas in the world, I say. It's very husky, very meaty, very moisturized. So they got great, you know, vaginas. I would say that.
Whereas,
Yo, do we want to go down this rabbit hole about there's differences, man. I see this is a Kick conversation. I can't talk about it on Instagram. So y'all gonna have to come over on Kick to talk about this, because I could tell you as a man who's experienced many different styles that all vaginas are not created equal. Like there's differences between skinny girl vagina versus big girl vagina. Like there's differences between all of them. I promise you. He's not lying about this. He's not.
slim, thick women, what they're packing down there is...
Yeah, they look good, it's nice and tight, but you just never know when you get it, like a box of chocolates when it comes to that area. But a BBW, you're gonna win every single time. Like I say, it's like a warm honey bun. You put it in the microwave for 10 seconds, you take it out, bam, you can't go wrong.
And you don't feel like it's more challenging to try and lift her up for certain positions or...
Oh no, see, that's the thing too about it. Depending on the size of the woman, you can do more positions or varying positions. It really just depends, because when you're with a bigger girl, you might not be able to do all these different positions, but with a smaller petite girl, you could ball her up and do some wild stuff. Like there's definitely that aspect to it all.
You know, maybe that she might want to overdo it when you go out together?
Yeah, no, it's easy to lift her up. For me, you know, I'm 230, so I'm in that gym in all ways. So no, I can pick them up, put them down, spin them around. We're gonna hold it down. Yeah, it's easy.
Take him to Pound Town.
We're gonna take them to Pound Town, man, and look at that brown hole. Let me spit in it.
What's your age?
32.
Are you single?
Yes,
Why do you think that is?
because I have yet to find a decent man here in Miami.
Yeah, good luck, man. I'm telling you, I just talked to like my best friend recently. We kind of reconnected. It's a long story about that, but we just recently reconnected and talked. He lives in Miami. He's down there, and it's tough down there to legit date. You know what I mean? It is its own world in terms of dating because of the volume of people, the high level profiles of a lot of people there. You've got so many women, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like they say you could take a LA 10, move her to Miami, and she's a fucking 6. you know, or New York 10. She goes to Miami, she's a 7 now. You know what I mean? Because the women that frequent Miami are some of the most exotic, obviously some of the most modified bodies out there. You know what I mean? And they're all competing for these men that are tricking off.
So it's about the men in Miami.
It really is. There's something wrong with them.
Why do you think you face so many problems with settling down here?
Because Miami is not the place to settle down. This is a place to have fun, to meet people, but definitely not the place to settle down.
But one could say that there are many relationships here in Miami.
They're fake.
Fake how?
They're for the gram
Just for Instagram?
and to make people think that they're happy.
So
She ain't lying.
sugar babies and sugar daddies.
Yes,
But what about the real ones?
they moved up north.
Do you think that as a woman it's a red flag that you're single at 32?
Oh yeah, it is a red flag, but it's okay. I've accepted my fate.
Why would you say it's a red flag for you?
Because usually girls my age are desperate to settle down, or once they're 30, they're desperate and they know that they have to do something, but I'm not settling.
Do you feel like having those high of a standards is going to help you? Or is it fair for you to still have the expectations that you have?
It's going to help me to keep my peace and my sanity, but it's not going to help me if what I want is to be in a relationship and settle down and start a family.
What's your age?
39.
Are you single?
Single, yeah.
Have you ever been married before?
Never.
Why do you think that is?
It's because I have commitment issues. Yeah, I'm not a one-woman man, and a lot of women are not okay with me wanting to have my cake and eat it too.
Well, why should a woman be okay with you sleeping with other women while you're with her?
Because I don't think men are designed to be with only one woman. This is quite honest truth. I think that we're designed to procreate and plant our seed as much as possible. And from that basic animalistic feeling that we have, it's hard. I think men are faking it when they say, oh, I just want to be with you my whole life. You're the only woman I love. I only want to be with you. I think that they're putting on a front. And if given the opportunity, if there's a hot girl and their girlfriend's not around, they know they're not going to get caught, they're going to fuck.
So you think a man...
Yeah, he had him in the last episode. I don't know why he's running the same guy back in this one. He was in the last episode.
And can love multiple women at once?
I think a man can love multiple women, but I'm not saying I need to love multiple. I'm saying I could have one woman that I love and want to be with, but also occasionally just dabble with other women, right? Like I equate it like I like to vacation. I go to Rome a lot, right? Just because I like Italy doesn't mean that's the only vacation I want to go to. Sometimes I want a vacation to explore other countries because each country offers such a unique perspective, just like women.
But would you be willing to accept a woman who wanted to have an open relationship as well with you?
Yeah, so women always ask me if it's an open relationship. I say it's more slightly ajar. It's not completely open. It's just like a little bit open where I'll be 99% of the time with you, but occasionally I'm gonna want to be with other women. Now we could bring the other women into the bedroom or I'll have like side pieces here and there, but I don't want another girlfriend, I don't want another wife. I just want one main girl, but occasionally be with another woman, and she can do the same with men. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm not a hypocrite.
Okay, so you're open to your woman getting piped down occasionally too?
Because I get it. There's other guys that may have better dicks than me, right? Not many, but there's some out there. And there's some guys that like giving oral. I don't like doing that. So I know there's other guys that offer things that I don't like to do.
I'm sorry, but admitting that there's other men that got better pipe than you is outlandishly crazy. I don't care what you say. I will go to my grave and say always that I got the best D. I will never. I don't give a shit. I don't care. All right. I don't care. I will never be like, yeah, there's somebody out there that got better D than me. Never. It will never come out of my mouth, bro. Never. My shit is the end all be all of dicks. I'm sorry. This guy's wild. I get what he's saying, and to some part I understand. I agree with some of it, but he lost me with this whole back end of this stuff. And you're gonna let your woman go smash whoever too is crazy.
And I'm
very much gives off cuck behavior.
I'll be a hypocrite if I say I want to fuck other women occasionally, but you can't occasionally fuck other men. I'll be a hypocrite. I'm not that. So I'm one of the few guys that is honest with women. I tell them how I feel, how I may love you and want to be with you, but eventually I'm going to cheat with you. So let's just have an arrangement going into it. Have an open communication.
Do you think most men want women to dress slutty, or do they want them to dress modestly?
It depends on the man you're asking. Some men prefer modesty and some men prefer a sexy woman.
Agreed.
But you can be modestly dressed and still sexy, though. I don't know why there's this disconnect to think that. I guess maybe people hear the word, you know, modest, like a modest woman, and they think like a woman is wearing a fucking skirt down to her ankles and a turtleneck. Like, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, this ain't like the Amish or something like that. We're talking about like just, you know, maybe instead of having all of your cleavage out, like right up here with this kind of a top, maybe it's you know, just a different, an all white top, you know, fully covered. You know, I'm just spitballing here, but it's not this old fashioned idea that, again, you're wearing some head to toe wardrobe necessarily. You know what I mean?
But do you think a woman can
have some mystery behind things is nice? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? Like right now, Shorty right here got them hammies out. By the way, some great looking legs. I ain't gonna lie. But like it's all out. Like it's all out. And I don't know at what point did stripper clothes become the new nightwear attire? Like it used to be stripper clothes was in the strip club for strippers. Now it's become like the fashionable thing for women to wear stripper clothes to go out to the club. And they're not even stripping. You know what I mean? It's just, to me, it's just weird. I don't know. It's just very weird.
still dress modestly and be sexy?
Yes.
Okay. So which do most men prefer then? The woman who dresses modestly and she's sexy, or the woman who is showing most of her skin and is sexy?
I believe that when you're in a relationship, as a man, you would prefer somebody who dresses modestly and sexy. But if you're single, I guess it doesn't really matter.
So if we were together and I wanted you to cover up more as your man, you would do that for me?
It depends how you ask. I think that's a difficult question or conversation to have, but I think if you ask it in a manner that doesn't come off as possessive or controlling, then it can be arranged.
And what would that look like in your head?
Respect for your man, not really sort of like control, but if he's has an expectation, I think that he needs to go for that woman that he's expecting. I don't think that he should go for women that dress a certain way and then try to change how they dress. I think he should go for what he's looking for.
At 42.
Hey, they should use that logic for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go for a good man. Stay with a shitty one that ain't gonna give a fuck what you do, and don't try and chase after one that's got his shit together, got his money right, and will have boundaries. Just go take the brokies because they'll let you do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? You know how stupid that logic is? Someone said those two girls ain't the type you get into a relationship with. They're for fun. Yeah, I mean, you know, potentially. It's not to say, like, I get it, and I've been with some women that before, like, when I met them, they was out here cheeks out type shit, but then, like, when you start talking with them, they tone it down, and mind you, that's not even with me having to say anything. It was just like they knew they gotta, like, tighten up. They can't be out here crazy. And I think a lot of it too was because me in my position in Chicago, you know, like, you couldn't just be out here crazy because of my reputation and stuff like that. They had to tighten up if we were going to be kicking it in public type shit. They couldn't be out here looking crazy because it was going to make me look crazy. So it's not to say that a woman couldn't change that up, but yeah, I think many will probably share her sentiment, which is like, if you don't want to, if you know, go find the girl that will do that and not me, because I'm going to dress how I want to dress.
Do you think dating has gotten easier for you?
Yes, that's extremely got a lot better for me because now I'm more of a stoic individual. I'm not so egomaniac or egotistical with women now. I'm really into compromise and understanding them a little bit more. So for 42 is a perfect age for me to really settle down and really get to know a woman bigger and better than just, you know, their bodies and everything.
So the woman that you're going for, are they also in their 40s, or are you going for younger women?
I really don't care about the age for that. it's really who they are as a person. You know, as long as they got their own thing going on, they look good, they feel good, they're great. I really don't judge them by their age.
But do you feel like you're a successful, high-value man right now?
Oh, you can't get no more higher. I feel like I'm top tier on all categories.
And why do you feel like you're top tier?
I mean, physically, mentally, monetarily, I'm in 1% of every division that is on the board.
And 1% monetarily wise, what would that look like annually?
Yeah, you know, annually, I say a bare minimum, I got to make $1 million a year. My highest year ever made was $3.5 million. So you got to be at least, for me, you know, over 6 figures is good. 140,000 puts you in that good percentage. But me, I did very, very well for myself.
So why would you go for a woman in her 40s as opposed to that 26-year-old girl?
I'm not going for nothing. Whatever attracted to me, whatever God put in my way that I'm attracted to on that level, we're going to connect. I'm not searching. They looking for me.
Do you think that being a millionaire gives you the right to cheat on a woman?
It gives me the right to pretty much do what I want to do. But at the same time, if it's a woman I feel compatible on all levels, I might compromise having all the women that I want at that time.
How long would you say your last relationship?
I don't think he said anything wrong, to be quite honest with you. He's pretty based on that, Mr. Organic, on his take and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I also think, you know, a lot of times they talk about in the red pill space about older men dating down younger women. I mean, we all know that women like older men, and that could look very different. That could be 5 years older. That could be 10. We've seen 20-year age differences in some relationships and all that stuff. I'm more of the mindset, and I think that men generally, it's not like they headhunt for like, I'm 40 and I'm looking for a 25-year-old directly. Maybe some do, but I don't think most guys. I think most men kind of play it like what he said, which is, I don't really look. It's just kind of what comes my way. And if it just so happens that Shorty's 25 and we really connect, it is what it is. Or I'm not even closed-minded to if I met a woman who's 45. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she's older than me, 50 or something like that. I think more times than not, a man really, and I can say this now that I entered my 40s and shit, it really isn't about the bodies. It is about that connection. Like, yo, who's the woman? Is she got, you know, is she a good person? Is she sweet, caring, nurturing, loving, nice, pleasant to be around, cool as hell? Notice none of those things I mentioned have anything to do with her career, money, anything. Is she just nice? And like, do I just want to be around her in her presence? I think most men look for that. And if it's a woman that's 50 or if it's a woman that's 25, whatever it is, if it just connects, I think that is what drives men in most cases, if I'm being 100% with y'all. You know what I mean?
Relationship was?
It was 3 years.
Did you break up with him or did he break up with you?
No, he broke up with me
Why do you think he left you?
because I was not in a good place, and I recognize that, but I'm in a better place now.
At least she's honest.
Do you ever look for your ex in other men?
No. I would not want to repeat.
Why not?
Because that wasn't the kind of person that I would like to have to deal with again.
But you were with him for so long, you must have been attracted to him.
At that point in my life, because I didn't know any better.
So what qualities do you look for now in a partner?
I look for somebody that is strong, that has really good values, that understands the importance of being their own self, but also understands that in a relationship it takes two people. It's not just a one-man act.
And you said that your ex was the opposite of those things. They thought that it was a one-person thing, kind of thing.
Yes, he thought he was the prize, and no, women are always the prize. In the words of our very, very wise Shira 7, sprinkle, sprinkle.
Oh, no.
What are your biggest red flags in a...
No, she actually said the name. She's like Voldemort. You can't really say her name, man. Not Shira 7. Oh, my God. Now I know that woman is going to be single for life. You're literally listening to Shira 7. The issue I have with Shira 7, and you know, obviously as a man, it's she's giving advice to women to benefit women. I totally get it. But the problem is, and I've actually watched some of her live streams and listened to some of her content to kind of get a feel for like what she's on. And there are some things that she says that make sense. Like she's given like real game to women, just as far as like how to be pleasant and, you know, like stuff like that. The issue I have with Shira though is that she's also advocating for women to be very transactional in their relationships. It's about what he got to offer, and play your part to get that from him. It's very manipulative, and it's about extracting those resources from the guy. You know, I think she even said, no, I actually recall her even saying something to the effect of like, You only gotta really like them. Just play along to get what you need. Like what? That to me is so bad. I mean, even in the red pill space, guys aren't saying, yo, just use a chick for whatever she got and then that's it. So that's my issue with Shira 7. Now it kind of makes sense where Shorty's gonna be don't look her up. Don't look her up, Ms. Monica. I don't want you to get poisoned.
40-year-old woman.
So my middle name is Red Flag, so I know a lot about that shit. Women say I'm a red flag all the time. I think any woman that's single after the age of 35, that's a red flag right there.
Because?
Because women have a biological clock and men don't, right? So if a woman is single still in her mid-30s to late 30s, when that's after 35, it's really hard for her to get pregnant, right? So men could be fuckboys, if you will, later in life. But women, if they don't start settling down and having a relationship by the time they're 35, it means that they have an issue. It's a red flag. Either they're fucking crazy or maybe they're divorced, right? Maybe they're divorced. Maybe they just party too much. Well, I had to do that again. Maybe they just party too much, and they party too much in their 20s and early 30s, and now they realize, oh, I'm 35, it's time to grow up, and by that time it's too late, you're washed up.
If I wanted to take you on a first date, how much should I spend on it?
I don't think it's a matter of how much. It's a matter of like effort, or thoughtfulness.
Agree.
What's the minimum though?
Minimum, like a dinner, maybe, I don't know, like $200 dinner.
Yeah, just, I don't know.
A nice dinner, I don't know. I don't want to go to Chipotle on a first date.
$200 should be the minimum expectation for somewhere nice.
For somewhere nice, yeah. Decent at least. Not nice, but at least decent enough.
Now, if I just met you, why should I
Go to Applebee's. Go to Cheesecake Factory.
drop $200 just off rip, just to try and get to know you?
Well, why should I sit down with somebody and try to get to know them? Like, I think both parts should put in an effort.
I mean, but you'd genuinely be wanting to know somebody. The money has nothing to do with it. Or does it?
I wouldn't say it doesn't, because I'm not going to date anybody who's broke. Because I'm not broke myself. I think you should expect what you can put out.
But
This makes no sense.
would you date a guy who made less than you?
No.
Okay, so you'd only date up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. But at the same time, just because you go to Chipotle for a first date doesn't mean that you're broke.
I didn't say that. I just said I wouldn't go to Chipotle on the first date.
Yo, this is how you know it's all bullshit, man. Because if she was smitten by a guy and she really found him attractive and was like really into him, if he said, well, look, let's just go for a walk, we'll go have lunch at Chipotle and all that stuff, her ass is gonna be like, oh, okay. So like people be grandstanding a lot about this stuff, you know what I'm saying? What I wouldn't do, what I would and wouldn't do, but don't let somebody come by that's attractive enough and everybody loses their mind and will do whatever, all the same things that they say they wouldn't do, they'll do it.
Why not?
Where would you take somebody on their first date?
Well, why wouldn't you go to Chipotle?
Because I can go there and take myself there, sit down and have a conversation with myself if that's what I wanted. Like, I think if you really want to meet somebody and you really care about them, then you should make an effort. And Chipotle is not really that much of an effort.
What are the
So you got to spend money. Like, this is what makes no sense. She said she wouldn't go there because she could pay for it herself, which then suggests that you want to go somewhere that you maybe more than likely can't afford. So you rather have a guy pay for it for your first date experience. Bro. It's this, I'm telling you, man, it's like the Matrix out here. This shit is not real. I promise you it's not real.
biggest red flags in a
dating is about connecting and just seeing if you vibe and you mesh. Once you establish a level of like connection, then you can move on to these things. But what the fuck? Why is everybody rushing from the first date, second date, third? Like, we're talking about like maybe after 2 to 3 months of solid dating. And if I know that you are only seeing me and you're not going on a date on Sunday and Monday and Tuesday with these other guys, if I know that we're exclusively dating, then I'll start to go and escalate that stuff. And I think that is the way most men should go about it. If you are leading with money, fellas, you are setting yourself up to take an L every time. Do not lead with money. If she doesn't want to get to know you for you, let her think you're broke. Let her think of this. She gonna miss out on an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? What I will say is, if you are gonna take her out on those initial dates, the first couple of months, make them fun experiences. They don't have to be costly. Go on a fucking hiking trip. Go see a national park. Go to whatever sightseeing thing is in your city that's popular. Go find a off the cuff, hidden gem of a restaurant, family owns, maybe something small and intimate, but these luxury experiences and fly me out here and 5-star Wagyu beef, Michelin restaurants for the first few dates is absolutely insane, man. Absolutely insane. And some of these chicks, like the one we just saw right here, presumably, and it sounds like, wants to go there on those first dates because she wouldn't do that for herself, by herself, and certainly not pay for it by herself. So instead, I'd rather have a guy take me there so I can have the experience. I can put it on Instagram and look like, I'm living this amazing life.
That much of an effort.
What are the biggest red flags?
Yeah, like a museum. Exactly. There's so many different things you can do and have a great time together.
In a 41-year-old woman?
Probably kids. Like having a lot of couple kids and all that, that's it's over with. I can't do all that.
But why wouldn't you take a single mom seriously?
I mean, for me, I'm a man, I have no kids, so I'm coming in with no baggage at all. So I prefer that for me personally. If you a guy, you got baby mamas, you got kids, then I understand. But you talking to a man, never drunk alcohol, never smoked weed, don't got no baby mamas. I'm coming baggage free. That's what I want for me.
Well, do you think that women build more baggage than men do as they get older?
I mean, of course, that's common sense. They know that. In the day, we age gracefully, and we get bigger and better with age. Women, they have to make sure they take care of themselves a little bit harder before they get older. So yeah, they come with more baggage when they get older, no question about it.
But a man can bring baggage too as he ages.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, we carry ourselves differently. We really don't have to worry about our physical attributes to that degree. We don't have to worry about, having a kid at home for the most part because they don't be with the mom. So it's separate how the baggage works. At the same time, a woman has to worry about those things a little heavier.
Why do you think women are the prize in the relationship?
Let's hear this.
Because we add value to a man's life.
The man adds arguably a lot of value to a woman's life too.
They do, but not to the degree that women do.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Because we take whatever you guys already have and we just amplify it and make it better. The right kind of woman makes it better.
But most women won't take a man unless he's already established and has something very good going for his future.
Yeah, I'm glad he said that, because right now in the current climate, women are only, you have a large swath of women that are only looking for the turnkey guy. I've said this before, actually, in a prior video or one that's coming out next week or whatever, but gone are the days of a woman, by and large, finding a man that has potential, that's working towards something. Now we live in a time and place where more women, more than ever, I would argue, wants a man that is already turnkey, has everything already set in play, and she just wants to pick up herself and insert herself into the life of what he's already built and established. He already persevered through all the bullshit, the hard work, the ups and the downs of his career or his business. He's 6 foot plus, looks amazing, got all kinds of money, doesn't have kids, doesn't have baby mamas. They want like that unicorn of a man. There's not many men that are in that boat at all, and that's what they want. They just want to insert themselves in there. So for her to be like, yeah, we add value, like what? At that point, a guy, if you're connected with a guy that already has everything, what else are you adding to it? He's already did all the heavy lifting. You know what I'm saying? Like you weren't in the gym shooting shots on him when he was out here on the grind with it all. Those women, I'll give them all the credit in the world. Like, oh, you held it down. You was in there allowing him to go out and thrive and grow and build. And for those guys that make it, and you got shorty that have been riding with you and supported you along the way, those are the guys I'll be like, yo, you got to do right by your girl. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure she's good, take care of her and shit like that.
And that's true. And yes, that should be like that. But then you build upon that. You can make that even better. There's always room for improvement for everybody.
Well, maybe in the intangible sense, you can make it better, in the feeling sense. But you're not going to pay for your man's dinner, take him out, plan trips, have him move in with you, then plan for the future and lead the way.
I shouldn't. He's a provider. That's part of having values, or those are the values, for example, I value.
No man could say that, well, because he's doing all of those things, he's the prize instead.
No. He can do that for himself. He should be able to do it for somebody else.
Well, that's the thing. If he can do it for himself,
This woman's making no sense. I'm gonna have brain rot.
why would he need you?
Because in other ways, I will add value to his life, not monetarily.
And she has yet to articulate that. This is why this shit is so stupid, and why it bothers me when you have women that say we're the prize. It's not that I inherently have a problem with saying we're the prize, but like articulate then. What is it? Why are you? You can't even describe it. But when men say it, and we dealt with this recently with the Simone Biles, Jonathan Owens situation that went viral, and women were by and large dogpiling on him, trying to discredit him for being successful just because he doesn't start in the NFL. Like, you bird brains, do you know how difficult it is and what percentage of men actually make it into the NFL? It doesn't matter that he's not in starting, he's on the NFL roster. Yeah, he's a secondary, he's a on the bench or whatever, but he's still a multimillionaire. He still has done something that the vast majority of men cannot do in getting into the NFL. He's successful. Like, they try to discredit him. And the thing is like, what are we talking about here? For a man to get money, be successful, have all these attributes that women find attractive, that inherently, this is where I say objectionably and being articulate about it, this is where I think men can have the ground to stand on and saying like, no, men are the prize. When you have a culture now where large swaths of women all want the same type of man, like, right? We talk about it. One that's got a lot of bread, 6 figures, 6 foot, da-da-da-da. They're all chasing essentially the same guy. That inherently means that they're the prize. If so many women are looking for this type of archetype man, he is inherently the prize. And I hate even discussing it because it sounds so fucking cringe about arguing who's the prize, who's the prize. It very high school dialogue. But, again, objectively speaking, the man in this case is the prize. I've not heard one woman articulate what would, a position as to why they are the prize. They have not. They just say we bring value. Like, but explain that. How? In what ways? Be specific. Nothing. There's been crickets.
Like,
Companionship, making sure that he keeps up with, what his goals are.
I am stalling for time because I don't know what I'm talking about. You guys catch that, right?
And what his dreams are, supporting him, and also just overall, if you're looking also for looks, like being arm candy.
but a man can get that companionship from his male friends. He can hire maids. He can get sexual pleasure from a strip club. He can hire hookers.
He can, but it's not maintainable. Like, it's not for long term. That's like not sustainable for the long term.
If he has more than enough money, maybe.
Perhaps, but I've noticed all the successful men in this world tend to have a very supportive partner next to them.
And
How many successful men does she know? I think it's cap, bro.
multiple women behind them.
Yo, they said on Instagram, at this point, I'm waiting for my AI robot queen. Come on, technology. Yeah, that's crazy. Yo, but he makes the point though. We are in a time, and this is the same for men and women. Here, let's be honest about this part of the conversation. We now have access to food delivery services. You can even have your groceries delivered to you now. We have access to cleaning services, meal preps. We have access to gyms. We've always had access in society to sex in one form or another, whether it's prostitution, maybe random hookups, but there's always access to that if you really want to get it. And if again, when you look at what both people bring to a relationship, both sides can get what they need done by some kind of a service at this point. You know, you can outsource it to Grubhub or outsource it to a cleaning service to come clean your home. You can, you're horny? Okay, you can go get a toy. You can go here, you go to a strip club. You can go to one of those services for something, you know what I mean? So we're at a point now where you got to be really intentional about who you're with, because if they're not really doing it for you, you can just get all the stuff you need done by some other entity. You know what I mean?
Perhaps, but there's always the main one.
At 39, what's the most you would spend on a first date right now?
Well, I used to be poor. Now, luckily, I do very well financially. But with that said, I still do have limits. The most I feel comfortable maybe is like $300 on a first date, like a nice dinner. And mostly because I want to go to the nice dinner, not because I'm doing it for her, but I'm just selfish. I want to go there, and then I don't want to go alone.
And you don't think that that's investing too much up front? $300?
That is, but I usually only do that if we talked a little bit online first, had a good rapport. If I just met some girl on the street and didn't really get to talk to her first, then we'd probably meet for a drink or something or somewhere more casual. So it all depends on how much we got to talk to before that date.
Do her looks play a factor in where you take her for the first date?
Yeah, they do, because if she's a super hot girl that I'm trying to impress, that's like a 9 or a 10, then yeah, I might take her somewhere fancier than if it was like a 6 or a 7, where I won't put as much effort in. So that does directly correlate to how much money, honestly, how much I'm going to spend based on how, I mean, it sounds shallow, but at the end of the day, women want guys that are successful, good looking, ambitious, and I want a girl that has the looks and also personality, you know?
So women want financial security,
Yeah.
and men are looking for trophy wives, essentially.
Some of them, but I prefer more like substance as well, right? So I want the looks initially, right, to take a hot girl out to dinner and date and sleep with, but if I'm going to be more than casual dating, I need also intelligence, I need personality, ambition, so it all depends what I'm looking for in the woman, right? So, yeah.
Okay. Do you think men and women could be friends?
No, of course not.
What benefits do you get from having female friends?
Absolutely nothing for me, unless we're in a job setting and we have no physical traction outside of the job. If we being friends and we talking on the phone and I'm coming over there, eventually we're gonna have sex. That dick is gonna go in some way, somehow, for sure.
What benefits do women get from having male friends?
I mean, they have a lot, you know. Not only do they have that male companionship, they get some more understanding at the same time. They're getting over because they're getting that protection that they always want. But at the end of the day, a guy's still gonna want a piece of that ass, for sure. But
So-
they're coming up.
So your girl, if she had guy friends, it would have to be before your time.
Yeah, I mean, extremely before my time, and he better have a woman or something going on. You're just not gonna be my girlfriend and you just a single dude, you know what I'm saying, talking to my woman on the phone, all that. That's impossible, brother. I know what you on.
No one-on-one time.
Hell no. One-on-one gonna be one-on-one, me and him, me beating his ass. It ain't going down, no.
So do you think that if you were out with a female friend and somebody tried to snatch her purse, she'd expect you to protect her?
Oh, most definitely. She got that. I got that for her.
Is that something that you would do on your own free will?
Yeah, it's just instant reaction. If I'm with any female and somebody does anything vulgar, I'm standing my ground. It's going to be a violent situation
Do you
on
think?
their side.
Do you think that the woman would try and protect you if somebody tried to snatch your chain?
Hopefully she did. If she did, it's okay. I can handle it in all ways. But, you know, I hope she can get in the way a little bit, slow it down. But if not, I don't need her. I got it.
Do you think there's any equal benefit for you having her as a friend if you're risking your life for her in that situation?
It depends. So if something happened to me or I did something a little too far, hopefully she could call one of my friends or call the police or something to prevent it from going to the next level. Or at the same time, she might talk me off the ledge. It might be something petty and I might be reacting too violently and she could pull me down or you know what I'm saying, and calm me down. So it can help in that manner, but not physically, no. She putting herself in danger.
All right, that's the latest episode from The Desirable Truth. Yeah, another W episode, man. You know, W in that it just kind of reaffirms a lot of what we keep seeing, and it's sad that we keep seeing the same things. Although keep in mind that this is in Miami and it's its own dating world, and so we're getting a very skewed perspective in some ways. I mean, although I would say that this tends to probably be true across anywhere you go. I mean, I wish there was somebody here in Chicago that did something like this to kind of compare what the everyday Midwestern woman believes and says in these with these same questions versus like Miami Girl or something like that, because I know that it'd be completely different responses to this, you know what I'm saying? And